Today I'm taking you from Miami down to the Florida Keys, and I'm going to give you the exact coordinates, shortcuts, and all the danger areas you need to watch for. We'll run the Intracoastal Waterway to Key Largo so we can cut to the ocean side, and I'll show you how to reach one of the most popular destinations, the Islamorada Sandbar, all by boat. What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to get from Miami all the way down to the Keys by boat. In the last video that I did, I navigated from Matheson Hammock, which is where I'm at right now, all the way up to Hollover, and I showed you guys how to navigate through the intercoastal waterways. I got a lot of questions on the last video of how to navigate down towards the Keys, so I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. So as you guys can see here, we have the markers, the square markers, right? And we have the red triangle markers. We have them over here as well. This is marking the channel, right, at port or the marina. As you're heading out, red right return is backwards, right? So we just got to invert it. So the red markers are going to be on our left side or our port side, and the green markers are going to be on our right side. Okay, same thing on this side. And as you can see here, the numbers go decreasing as we go out. 5, 4, 3. The odd numbers are always going to be on the green. The even numbers are going to be on the red. So one thing that I noticed, because I've done this trip before, is when you're heading out, you got to have a good GPS. This is the Navionics app by Garmin. It used to just be called Navionics. I think Garmin took it over. I think it costs about 54 bucks a year. It is totally worth it. I absolutely love this app. I use it exclusively to navigate. You download the maps of wherever you are, and it's super easy and convenient. Okay, so we're gonna start here. We're gonna go to automatic. Okay, you're gonna choose your starting point, and you can choose your current position, which is what I'm doing now. Islamorada, and you could put in the sandbar. Look at that, Islamorada Sandbar. So it's 55 miles. So it plans the route for you. Then all you got to do is press go. Now watch this. It shows you exactly how to do it. The great thing about this app is that you can set the depth of your boat's draft, and it's going to take you the route according to your boat's draft, right? So you come over here, zoom in, you double click on that, on the little arrow down here, and that's it. You basically follow that, and you follow your GPS, verify the markers visually. So we got to start making our way towards the Intracoastal Waterway. We'll talk about the Intracoastal Waterway in a little bit. Up on the screen is a map of Biscayne National Park, and the faint blue line that you can see in the middle of the screen is the Intracoastal Waterway route. And this is the most critical part of the Intracoastal Waterway map in Biscayne National Park, because there's not many markers, as you can see, through the entirety of the route in Biscayne National Park. But this part in the feathered banks is critical because it's surrounded by flats. I'm going to put the waypoints to these markers in the middle of the bay so you can have it saved on your GPS. All right, so now we're in the actual Intracoastal Waterway, and we're right by Elliott Key. This is all Elliott Key, which is the longest chain of islands down here in South Florida. I'm gonna put the map up on the screen so you guys can see exactly where I'm at and how the Intercoastal Waterway flows right through here. Let's get going. All right, we're coming up on a marker. Remember, in the Intercoastal Waterway, the red marker is always gonna be on your right when headed in a clockwise direction around the United States. So if you're headed south on the east coast of Florida, it's going to be on your right side. And as you wrap around, it always stays on your right side. There's no green marker, except all the way over there. Look how far it is. So you got, this is the Intracoastal Waterway, right through here. Left, right, port, starboard. The Intercoastal Waterway narrows out right up here. You don't want to go in here because this is a very shallow area, same as over here. You can notice the yellow triangles on top of the triangle and the yellow squares up there. Number 14 and 15. This is the last set of markers for a good distance. just barely make out the bridge from here. You want to hit that bridge right in the center. So you start seeing those markers. You're going to see that landmass to your right. You're going to see Ocean Peak over here to your left. We're coming out the Card Sound Road, which is the original highway to get to the Keys. First markers, gonna curve slightly this way. Alright, so after these markers, there's no more markers. When you get to the bridge, you gotta deviate slightly to the right. You can see how the numbers are getting higher. 20, 21. So this canal here coming out of the Card Sound Bridge deviates to the left. After a few minutes, you can already see US 1 headed that way. So there's no markers on here. You have to follow the GPS. You want to head towards the bridge until you see your markers. We're coming up on US 1. And you can start seeing those markers. You can start making them out. These guys got a little bit confused because there's no red marker. Now I gotta surf these waves. Hold on. I don't want to get swamped. So see, there's no red marker come behind me. There's no red marker over there. So they got confused. They went around the green marker. You can't do that. So here's that red marker. Gotta line yourself up. So you see, that's why it's always good to know. We're coming up on US 1, and here you can run all the way up to here, but this is a slow speed zone. It's a manatee zone, or that's a regulatory marker up there. It's got the whiteboard with the circle and the orange square around it. That's a regulatory sign. So those are the ones that are going to tell you to slow down, minimum weight. So that's US 1. And the Intracoastal Waterway goes right under it, just like we went under that other bridge. This is Gilbert's. We got some nice hotels here in Dockage. So this is a no wake zone all the way up to this sign up here. You got to be very careful here because the current rips. So just pay attention and mind the current. So fuel up here if you guys need fuel. So here you have Everglades National Park. Alright, so we're in Key Largo right now. Again, this is another point where you don't see the markers. So you gotta really pay attention and watch your GPS and visually verify where the markers are according to your GPS. There's a marker right there, and that marks Everglades National Park. That's the border. You can see a red marker coming up, marker 40. There's nothing here on the left. Alright guys, so if you don't need to go all the way down to Alamorada, one of the first places that you can cut over once you get into Key Largo, it's a cut over here. I'm going to put the name up at this cut. We're going to go through it right now. So over there you can see US 1, right? You're going to come up the Intercoastal Waterway and you're going to turn into this basin. I'm going to put up on the screen the map with the coordinates so you guys can have it marked in case you need to cut through. So if you come down to the Keys by car, you've driven over this bridge on US 1 before, and this is where you make the cut to cross over, and you're going to cross over into the John Pennycam Park, and you're going to go through there. So I'm going to show you that route. When you do come through this bridge, you have to make sure that your boat fits. Make sure your antennas are down, make sure your rods are down, because I don't know what the clearance is on this bridge. It's maybe 15 feet, but you know, you add your T-top, you add, you know, your rods, antennas. So the current is ripping through here. Yeah, it's US 1 back there. You could cut in this way to go to Alamorado. You're just gonna go on the ocean side. Well, that's good. You know, you go from the ocean side, or you go through the bay side, which I'm gonna show you also. I like this route. It's a scenic route. You know, nice houses and dream a little bit. You know. Let's keep going. So we just got out of the Marvin D. Adams waterway. Now we're here inside the Florida National Park, John Penny Camp. You guys got to be really careful passing through here. Pay attention to the signs. There's officers everywhere. We'll get a ticket. Coming out of the waterway, you can run the boat. But we're just waiting for everybody to catch up. As you can see, there's John Penny Camp Park over there. There's a little beach they have over there. And we'll get a closer look to it now because the channel markers are right that way. Out here, you're gonna see buoys that are marked. Those are areas you can't go into. If you're looking to go to John Penny Camp Christ statue, this is where you would go. Coast Guard. Boat operators are responsible for their wakes. All regulations strictly enforced. Yeah, Coast Guard? So when you're coming from inland to the ocean, the markers change. It's not red, right, return. The red markers are going to be on your left-hand side, and the green marker should stay on your right. So you have to do the inverse. So this area is still a no wake zone, or minimum wake zone, rather. You see there's another sign over there that says dangerous bend, and it really is because it bends this way. And boats come really fast, and you gotta keep that green marker on your right side. All right, so once you get out here, you go out that dangerous bend, you can resume normal safe operation. You got to be very careful going through here. So once you come out of the channel, you could still run through here. We just slowed down for everybody to catch up. And there's a no wake zone out here. And this channel kind of snakes back out this way. And then we're gonna have to go back out that way if you want to keep going to Alamorada or down this way. Putting up the map so you can see how that looks. That was a short little no wake zone. To resume normal operation right here, as we're gonna do now. Guys, we stopped over here at Mosquito Bank. I'm gonna put the coordinates up on the screen so you guys can see. You really want to come here on like low tide, like super low tide, like king tide, so you can really enjoy the crystal clear water. All right, let's get back in. We can head out. So that's Mosquito Bank. Now we're gonna head over to the Christ of the Abyss. It's in John Penny Camp State Park. And wait for everybody and ride out. So we just pulled up here to the Christ of the Abyss. There's mooring balls that you can tie up to, and you can't anchor here, so it's all protected. Now here there's a creek that we gotta go through. We gotta be very careful because there's boats that haul ass through there. So we want to come in on a nice wide turn. And keep your eye on the border for any boats coming. See, there's a boat that just popped out. Another marker up there. We're 42. .44, 43. We'll veer off this way. Now we're gonna turn this way. All right, we're coming up on another creek. We have to go through these mangroves. This is marker number 50. Keep your eye on that corner for any boats that are coming. Now here's an interesting one. This is not one of those posts. Here you have a can. See that? See, and this one's lit. Now we're gonna run parallel with US 1. Marker number 55. Marker 59. The yellow triangle on top of the red triangle to mark the intercoastal waterway. Now we're going in towards land. 52. We're running parallel to US 1. This way. No green markers to our left at all. Just red for now. You can run all this. No problem. All of this area. We're not going to continue through the intercoastal waterway. We're going to go through Toilet Seat Cut. To continue through the intercoastal, you go this way. You're going to go through this way. Instead of going that way, we're going to cut through here.
Towards the top of your screen, you're going to see the route for the intercoastal waterway. And towards the middle of the screen, you'll see Toilet Seat Cut. A few tips for traveling through here. If you have a large boat, 30 foot or more, I don't recommend you go through here unless it's high tide. And if you do decide to pass through Toilet Seat Cut, I recommend that you pass on plane and at high tide. The depths at low tide here can be a foot to a foot and a half.
Coming up on Toilet Seat Cut. The intercoastal waterway keeps going through here. We're going to meet up with it in a second. And we're in Isla Morada right now. Got Founders Port back there. We're going to come in through this channel so we could cut through and get to the Isla Morada sandbar. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys so you guys can see. We arrived here at the Isla Morada sandbar. And then there's a sandbar right out there. So we're right on low tide. The current's ripping through here. Everybody's here at the sandbar just hanging out. The zebra skiff is killing it, man. Rides like the wind and sips fuel. Alright guys, so I'm on the way back. Instead of going through Toilet Seat Cut, I'm going back through the intercoastal. Now this is the way you head back up the intercoastal. See, Toilet Seat Cut's right back there. You save yourself about, I don't know, maybe half a mile or a mile. But it is nice to take a look at it.
When it's time to head back, it's just as easy. Follow your GPS track home or simply reverse to intercoastal waterway markers. Red is on your left or your port side, and green is on your right, your starboard side. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.